Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Nigel R. Khan, the #1 bookseller in Trinidad and Tobago and going further up the Caribbean. And as I welcome you, I now put you straight over to Miss Kiran Maharaj, who will conduct the proceedings. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to say, as we start, a thank you to Nigel Khan for being involved in this project. As you all know, this has been a work in progress for quite a few months now. And we did it because Motivation Minute has been on the air for over 20 years now. And it is the longest running feature in the history of radio in Trinidad and Tobago. And from time to time, we have received requests for transcripts of Motivation Minute. It continues to inspire many, many people. And that is because of the talented Mr. Garfield King. I would like you all to give him a round of applause. But more so, for many of us today who have been part of the 9/7 experience for so many years, it is a gathering of those who are still with music radio and those who are no longer with music radio. I have to at this point mention the founder of Music Radio 9/7. Started as the 4th radio station in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are very fortunate to have the founder of 9/7, Mr. Peter Ames, here with us. I have to tell you that Mr. Ames has been a great resource for everybody who has passed through not just the 9/7 group, but the sister stations of music radio, including myself. He gave many of us a break. He gave many of us a wealth of knowledge. And Mr. Ames, if I could have your brain one day, I think that would be my wish, because you've passed on so many things to so many of us. So this being the 20th anniversary of music radio, we felt we had to do something special. But how could we do it without our listeners? It could not be done. Because if it were not for the support of our listeners, as well as the advertisers, this project would not have come off. So to all of you who were chosen, I have to say that the process was tedious. It was very difficult because we had photographs coming in from amateur photographers as well as professionals. And the judging process took a lot of time and energy. We have so many talented people in Trinidad and Tobago. It is unbelievable. But we felt that we wanted you to show how you too are inspired. Every day we get up and there are certain goals and ambitions we have in life. But you know, how do we take those and make it through the day? And your photographs are going to be part of that motivational experience for everyone who will get a copy of this book and who will see the photographs, the images that you say also inspire you. So to all of you, I want to thank you for your love and support. I want to thank all of the staff of Music Radio 9/7. Not just the ones who are there now, but to those of you who were there before, because you are the ones who work behind the scenes. You are the ones who make the experience for the listeners what it is worth listening to. And you are the ones who really carry the torch for all of us, and no longer 9/7 alone, but for your sister stations. And it's not sister stations because I'm feminist. I think it has to do with the muses and so on, is why we say sister stations. But for Ebony 104, for the People's Station 90.5, and for Heartbeat 103.5, Music Radio 9/7 is our big sister. And so we salute you today as well. At this point, I would like to ask Mr. Garfield King to say a few words.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for coming. The pause was simply because there's a lot of noise all around, and it's often been said that a second thought can give you a second chance. And what I've discovered, or what I've been encouraged to think about, is that in a world where we're always rushing, and we think that the rushing and the speed indicates how clever we are and how much we can do, that sometimes what we really need to do is just to slow down. And sometimes we think, well, I just didn't think. It's not that we didn't think, it's that we didn't perhaps put our thinking caps on. We didn't address the issue at hand. And I'm saying all of this because I read it in a book that I think is being launched today. So, but no, in all seriousness, I can't say anything more than what Kiran has already said, because that's a lot of what I was going to say. A lot of the stories, the articles, these transcripts that were selected for this book, which is only 60, and after all 60 minutes makes an hour, so one hopes that it'll take you just an hour or so to read it. But many of the scripts came from everyday experiences, and some of those experiences were actually with the family that became, for me, the extra family that became Music Radio 97, as I spent so many hours there. And some of the trials and tribulations had very positive spins on them. And some of the people that seemed to be against you, or you came up or rubbed you the wrong way, I began to realize it wasn't that they were rubbing me the wrong way, they were actually massaging me, and those massages actually strengthened my muscles and made me much more supple and much more flexible and able to continue in life. I see some people smiling because they probably know what I'm talking about in their own work environment. But that's all I really have to say, except to add that without the people listening to Music Radio 97, and I'm no longer working there, but still, of course, do the program, I am amazed that so many people still find that minute to tune in. And all I can say is thank you very much, and also thank you for all of the people who called in when I was working there to correct my grammar and pronunciation, because sometimes it was a bit off, and all of that helped me. So I don't know what else to say except a huge, huge thank you to every single individual who has ever listened to the program. And I mean that most sincerely. Thank you very much indeed for coming, and just thank you, and thank you for listening, really.